face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Western Reserve Radio's coverage of Grove City College football continues back at Staley Hall, joined by Coach Bainey. And as soon as that was announced, Coach, I didn't feel like it was that long. I got a text. Did you get a chance to go home?
Yeah, super excited to go home. My parents live in Milton, Pennsylvania, about probably 15 minutes from there. My sister-in-law ran track there. My brother teaches elementary school at Shikellamy, and then my sister-in-law at Danville, so it's really nice to go back home.
So you may know a little bit more about the program than the rest of the staff then?
We're familiar with them, like Coach said. We cross paths a little bit in recruiting. I know Coach Kendall does a great job out in the center part of the state with recruiting. But the great success that they've had, we're pretty excited to go out in central Pennsylvania and play football.
And you got a lot of guys that are from that area on this roster.
Yeah, of course. Yep. Yeah, a lot of guys, current guys, and a lot of guys that have laid a lot of bricks before. I think of past guys like Jared Kraut, being from Central Mountain. I think of Lance Kleinfelter from Lewisburg, right in the heart of central Pennsylvania. So, not only current guys but past guys. There's been a lot of builders that have come from that area.
So I'm curious. Chris and I talked about this yesterday. Did the philosophy change maybe a little bit against Teal? It seemed like you want to hammer the ball at somebody, you kind of soften them up a little bit, and then take some shots. It kind of felt like it was the opposite yesterday. You threw the ball deep early and then really went after him with the run game. Did the plan change a little or no?
Yeah, we go into every single game and it's we really take what the defense gives us. If it's going to be 6-on-6 in the box, we're going to run the ball. As soon as you load that box, we're going to go ahead and take our shots. But we never go into a game thinking, okay, we're going to do this against this team. We always kind of line up. We see what the defense is going to give us, and then we make our adjustments as needed.
Do you feel like that makes you a difficult team to play? And especially now you're in a 32-team tournament field like this. Like you said, if they try to load the box and take it away from you, you've got great receivers on the outside. You've got guys that aren't afraid to run, routes underneath and maybe take a big hit to make a play. And you've got a quarterback with a heck of an arm. Do you think that makes you guys hard to prepare for?
Yeah, I do think that it makes us hard to prepare for. I mean, when you look at just the physicality on both sides of the ball, whether it's the offensive line, defensive line, our linebackers flying around, even our running backs, what we ask them to do in the run game, in terms of just the amount of carries, that workload, even asking our quarterbacks to carry the ball. And certainly our size with our receiving core, not afraid to come across the middle and make big plays when their number's called as well. It is a special group and a very physical group for sure.
And it seems like as this year went along, we saw little tiny wrinkles every once in a while. You saw a little bit of zone read. You saw a little bit of option. You saw the screen game kind of expand in the second half. Is that more about being more multifaceted as an offense, or is it maybe about throwing in some things that teams have to spend some extra time on getting ready for you?
Yeah, I don't. I think it really, honestly, is we look at the flow of the game. We look at what we're seeing defensively. Whether that be stunts, whether that be different shades, what we're seeing from the box, and then we make our adjustments. A lot of sideline adjustments are being talked about, what our guys like up front, based off of doubles and how things are hitting. And then we certainly like to get our guys in open space as well, like you alluded to, the screen game and some option stuff.
And we've talked about this, off the air after games. It seems like the group that you have, the staff that you have, on some teams, they have to wait to halftime to make adjustments. You guys seem like you communicate really well and it doesn't take you much time to recognize we need to make a change, and you do it on the fly, whether it's splits of your guys up front or how you're approaching a team if they've maybe shown something you didn't expect.
Yeah, I think, you mentioned the staff. A lot of these guys have played for us. I think of Coach Vogt, our defensive coordinator, he played offensive line for me. I think of Coach Matthews, our backs coach. He played offensive, line for me as well. Coach Schools, obviously being an All-American running back. A lot of these guys have been with us a very, very long time. And then, myself and Coach DiDonato being together 9 years, you mentioned it doesn't take us long to make those adjustments. I think that's partly due to the fact that we mesh well together. We've been together a very, very long time, and we can kind of build off of one another.
When you're going to get the film today, tomorrow, first thing, what's the first thing you want to look at?
Yeah, first thing I always look at is I just want to see the box. I want to look at everything inside the box. I want to see tendencies. I want to see, what I'm looking for in terms of shades, the alignment of the defensive line. And, really I just want to see how they match up physicality-wise. I want to see, just how they are in third and long situations. I want to see how they are, in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter, and see is that motor still there from snap one to the fourth quarter. I'm excited for the matchup, and I'm excited to get the film here in a little bit.
And it's one of those where we've seen you've kind of some teams you've worn down this year because, let's face it, your five guys that it's been 6, sometimes 7, whether it's because you want to bring an extra offensive lineman in or you've had some guys get banged up. Those guys can wear on a team up front for 4 quarters, and things can maybe change what you can do in the second half. Yeah,
of course. We tell our guys just be where your feet are. Don't worry about what's going to happen in the second quarter. Just worry about where your mind, heart, and soul are right now in that particular play. And Coach DiDonato, and you see it everywhere, whether it be on social media or Coach DiDonato referencing it throughout the season, good to great each rep, 1-0 each week. We want to take a good rep and how can we make that a great rep? And if we can get those good reps to equal a great rep, that's going to allow us to have that, that freedom to lead to 1-0 each week.
Coach, thank you for your time. Enjoy looking at that film, and congratulations on going home and on being in the playoffs.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you.
We'll take a break.
Lena's Pierogi
We'll have more at Grove City College.
House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard or call 234-254-8532.
Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Back to Grove City as we wrap up the Division III selection shows the Wolverines in the tournament field for the first time in program history. Sports Information Director Ryan Briggs, my partner on the road, at home, a lot of things over the last 20 years joining us. And I'll ask you the same thing I asked Coach when he sat down. First thing you thought when you saw Grove City College in that bracket?
Well, I will admit, because it's always important to be transparent, a friend of mine actually, his feed was a little ahead of the one we had here. So I was kind of tipped off to know to look for Susquehanna. So I was, at first I touch disappointed because I wasn't going to get the wow, there we are.
Right.
But in remembering what my job title is, I'm thinking, okay, now I can be ready. So we got cool video of it going up there, the guys cheering and stuff and all that. So it's on Instagram, it's on X now. So so with that, so going there, so after that immediate mild disappointment, not just a very selfish thing on my part, but after realizing, hey, this all right, this is working out well. This is actually it's a good thing. Just back in 2005, Teal won the PAC. That magical year went 10-0. They hosted 2 playoff games in Greenville, and Kevin Fenstermacher, who was the SID there at the time, they went to the PAC. Now he's at Westminster. He asked me to come up and work the games. They played Johns Hopkins and then Bridgewater, Virginia in the second round over Thanksgiving weekend, and so I got to go up there and work those games. And a handful of times I worked the playoff games at W&J, and I always hoped that someday, at some point, Grove City would be Grove City in the tournament, whether whether at home or in this case going on the road to Susquehanna. So just kind of thinking that it's now it's like the reality. Of course, we had with the Bethany win to clinch the playoff berth, and then of course yesterday the 10-0 season, and winning the Mercer County Cup and all those things. And now, okay, we know it's coming, and now there it is. Now you see it. It's real. It's it's not it's so it's kind of a lot of different emotions, but all of them positive. So, but to know that now we're in, which we knew, where we're going, certainly an outstanding opponent. 2 10-0 teams meeting. I believe there's just a couple of 10-0 versus 10-0 meetings, Alma and DePaul out in the Midwest also, which sometimes happens the way just the way things shake out. But very, very exciting, and just a great opportunity for Grove City to go on the road. This will be the first ever road postseason game for Grove City. 5 ECAC bowl games were all at home at Thorne Field. So going on the road to Susquehanna, a team that the Wolverines have played a few times over the years. Series began in 1958. Last played in 1975. It's the series, 2 wins for Grove City, 4 for Susquehanna, and there's 1 tie in there. That's how you know it's an old series. There's a tie involved. But there's somewhere in our archives, there's a picture of then head coach Joe Kopniski holding the Amos Alonzo Stagg hat trophy, which this trophy has this big full brim hat on it. I'm not 100% sure what it was from or whatever. It's kind of a cool picture, a neat looking trophy. But that was from a win over Susquehanna back in the mid 1970s. So a little bit of history with them. We occasionally play them in sports, not too often. Our women's soccer team played them this year. Defeating them. We've played them in basketball here and there, over usually maybe at a holiday tournament, tip-off tournament, thing of that sort. But very exciting to be going on the road. All things considered, it's not a real long road trip. It's a longer road trip than we have in the PAC, but PAC certainly is a geographic anomaly compared to most Division III conferences. But just very exciting, and we know that we'll be in Selinsgrove in 6 days.
Yeah, it was one of those where you knew in wasn't a question, and a lot of times when you watch a show like this, like it was for the ECAC bowl games, you didn't necessarily know if you were going to get picked. But now you get picked, you're on the road, and all things considered, you hoped 10-0 maybe get you a home game, but geographically it could have been a lot worse.
Certainly, yeah. At 10-0, thinking there would be I thought it was 50-50 on a home game. When the regional rankings came out and we were 5th, thought that maybe kind of tips the scales away from that a little bit. Ithaca and Cortland played yesterday. They were both ranked ahead of us in the region, and then the way things shook out, they ended up Cortland winning. So no matter what, they're both on the road too. So I don't know what the final regional rankings are. Sometimes those are released publicly, sometimes they're not. But certainly you'd have to think that whoever won that game, and they were ahead of Grove City to begin with, and they're on the road. It's you kind of see how things were maybe shaping up, because it's a geographic puzzle, it's a logic puzzle, and it's a math puzzle all at once combined for this. So yeah, we were hoping for home, but like you said, you look at some of the road trips, to be able to go. This is one if you're in Grove City or in the Mahoning Valley, Shenango, whatever. you can get up Saturday morning and be there for kickoff at noon. It's
I have a feeling we might just do that.
we may, yeah. It's about from here in Grove City. The Google says it's a little over 3 hours, about 3 hours 15 minutes. Just straight shot out Interstate 80, and then to get off at U.S. Route 15 north. It's north of Harrisburg for people wondering where is it. Kind of near Williamsport. For those just look, kind of for a lot of people have heard of course, Williamsport. So it's out in that general vicinity. And great opportunity to take on an outstanding football team, Susquehanna. Susquehanna in the Landmark Conference. This is the first year of Landmark Conference football. In previous years, Susquehanna and Juniata, of course, we're familiar with Juniata, having played them in the season opener for several years. They both previously competed in the Centennial Conference as associate members. Well, this year, the way things have evolved with the Landmark Conference, they've added some other schools that already had football. And so now they have 6 core members who sponsor football. Those two, Moravian, Wilkes, I'm not sure of the other two. That's kind of irrelevant now. But so they get the first AQ from their league, which is why there was only 4 at-large berths instead of 5. Susquehanna's a team that's been in postseason play, has been in the NCAA tournament, has been in some bowl games as well. The Centennial and the Middle Atlantic Conference have a bowl series. So they also, like Grove City, are a team with ample postseason experience.
And it looked like from some of the film that Coach showed briefly, they've got a pretty nice facility as well.
Yes, yeah. I'm not real familiar with the facility, but like you said, just looking at the video, it looks looks like a very nice place. And oftentimes when you see teams with successful programs, usually the facilities are pretty nice. I think they it's the old chicken versus egg type thing. Susquehanna has been strong for a number of years now. So it's a great opportunity for the Wolverines to go out there. Matchup of undefeateds. There will not be many of those on Saturday in the Division III playoffs. 2 teams that are ranked in both polls. Right now, Grove City was 19th in the last coaches poll, 21st in D3 football. I know Susquehanna is, I don't have it in front of me, but I think in the mid-teens, maybe lower teens, or even 10, 11, 12. In that, so a handful of spots ahead of Grove City. So certainly when you look at when you take the big picture view, it's going to be one of the marquee matchups of the first round. 2 10-0 teams, 2 teams in the same state, 2 teams that are both ranked, I think it's a real. It's going to be one of the games. The spotlight will shine brightly on in Division III starting at noon on Saturday.
And as the note you handed me in talking to Coach Bainey, so we've got coaches that have ties to that area. We have players that have ties to that area, and that just kind of ratchets the emotion up a little bit.
I'll certainly think of guys. You mentioned Coach Bainey. He's from Milton, Pennsylvania, which is out in that neck of the woods. I think of this just off the top of my head, Trevor Beck starting free safeties from State College, which is a little further west, but this is the closest that he's probably going to be playing at home. So what a thrill for him in his senior year. A number of guys from Harrisburg. Vinny Lepre is from Pine Grove, which is more towards out in the Reading area and whatnot. But a lot of guys with ties, in central Pennsylvania up through kind of, if you think of Pennsylvania and cut it into thirds. That's that middle third of the Commonwealth. That's been a good recruiting area for the Wolverines, and they'll be heading back there, Susquehanna. And like Coach DiDonato said, they're a school we see in recruiting sometimes. It's a school with strong academics also. So when our coaches are recruiting, that neck of the woods in Pennsylvania in District 4, the Williamsport area, or State College, Altoona, Hollidaysburg, Mifflin County, etc. Sometimes you're talking to someone, who else is looking at you? Susquehanna. So while we haven't played in 40 some odd years, the programs are not totally foreign to each other.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have our longest road trip together in a long time, and
yeah,
we're
it's
going to
been
enjoy
a while
every minute of it.
Absolutely. It's been a while since we took a long road trip. Juniata was about 2 hours, 45 minutes. This will be a little bit further. Of course, there's always the excitement of the season opener going down to Huntington. This one, the playoff opener, going to Selinsgrove. And I know we're going to have to get up early Saturday, but I'm going to have a hard time sleeping Friday night.
Yeah, we're going to be busy between Friday night and Saturday morning for the both of us.
I know we're getting close to the top of the hour here, but thank you to you and Dave for coming over here. This great setup. It means a lot to us, of course, helping out with the Allegheny and Teal broadcasts also, stepping in. I cannot thank you enough. your expertise, your professionalism, your friendship, everything. Just both personally and on behalf of the athletic department, sports info, etc. Just a heartfelt thank you.
We appreciate that. The Grove City College Wolverines are in the field of 32 for the D3 football playoffs. They will travel to face the Susquehanna Riverhawks. Saturday, we have confirmed that is a noon kickoff, correct?
All playoff games start at 12 except the Stag Bowl, which is 7 o'clock on a Friday night.
So that is where the game will be on Saturday. Thank you to everyone here at Grove City. Thank you to Dave for everything he does, putting all of this together. I just stay out of the way and let him do his thing. For owner-operator Jim Craven, for Dave Ferris, for everyone here at Grove City, I'm Mark Means. The Wolverines are in the field of 32 for the Division III football playoffs.